Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome one and all. And it's great when, as we go live, we have technical issues which we're trying to resolve. So if you are on our Facebook channels and there are difficulties, we do apologize. Head on over to Twitch or head on over to our YouTube channels. Just as we went live, oh my God, we lost the signal, but hopefully it's back. Today is February 9th, 2026. And what a time to be around. It's been several days that we can actually, it's been percolating for a little bit, and we're going to be able to get to it. Folks, everyone in the chat room, head on over to ndbmedia.net to check out what's going on the network. Please let us know who you are, where you hail from, get the conversation going. And folks, you know, I'm Sir Roger, and I want to go straight to Michael. Good evening, Michael. How you doing?
Oh, no, I just got a warning that there's problems. No, I'm doing
I'm
great.
working on it.
Network is not doing well, but, lovely Facebook, it's like, oh, give me a break, Facebook. No,
Better than our streaming service.
Yeah. Well, Facebook doesn't like us anyway. They don't keep our shows more than 30 days anymore. So that's no fun. So anyway, that's a whole other issue.
Hopefully we are back on Facebook. We lost the signal, but allegedly we're back. We apologize. Luke, how you doing?
Oh, trucking along, same as always.
That's good to hear. Lord Greg.
Good evening.
How's the wall, Greg?
The wall is cold.
Not
Evan. Good evening, Evan. How you doing?
Yes. Doing fantastic. This was a fantastic episode.
Oh, this is going to be great. I don't know if it's me, but the sound and the visual is off on you, so we'll see. But it's all good. Was it a fantastic episode? I have to tell you that the first thing I was thinking about was, gosh darn it, Greg was deprived once again of action. But ladies and gentlemen, if there was another sort of action, oh my word. We've talked about this. This is the type of stuff that will stay with us forever. But I'm going to go ahead. I want to go to Michael. No, you know what? I apologize. I don't think I've gone to Evan first yet. Evan,
okay.
Let's, real quick, good, bad, just get us in it. Go for it, Evan.
Well, first of all, I thought phenomenal episode. And I liked that what I liked about this one, everyone had their moments. Everyone in this episode had their moment. And we very rarely, this was not no one's episode. This was kind of everyone's episode. And it's the perfect sort of calm before the storm, because we know next episode, it is going to be the literal trial of the century. So I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. By the way, how's my sound coming in? Is it good? Good. Okay,
Perfect
good.
now.
We're in the pipe 5x5, but that's another movie.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
Lord
and I
Greg.
love what,
Sorry.
so I was just going to point out, I saw this Reddit post kind of right after I saw the episode, and someone pointed out Baelor Breakspear is the closest Westerosi equivalent to the character of Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. And that had me really thinking. I'm like, that's actually pretty true. So kind of stew in that for a little while. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that one. But please carry on. Who's next?
Yes. I apologize. I didn't mean Evan. Lord Greg, please.
Oh, definitely. Even though we didn't get action, we did get horses. And we did get some outstanding dialogue, both in writing and in capture on film. The interactions between the characters in this episode were outstanding. Again, even though I love the horses, I love the epic battles, but we got to see character development. We got to see introspective dialogue. We've got to see relationships, and I think all of it had me on the edge of my seat. I mean, it's like, I did not want it to end. I'm like, oh, please, at least go into the first fall before you break. At least, knock Darren off his horse and get that over with or something.
Yeah, thank you, Lord Greg. And I apologize. The episode is entitled Seven. It is episode 4 of season 1, roughly runtime of 36 minutes. It was written for television by Aziza Barnes, Annie Julia Wyman, and Ira Parker. And it was directed by Sarah Adina Smith. Now, she's directed another episode, maybe 2 others, and she will direct another one in the future. I want to give a shout out to her, and I don't know if you saw the after. Oh my goodness, a fan within the project, a professional. The love that she had, I'll get to that. I just want to comment on it. But, Greg, everything you said, I genuinely got mad at one scene of the episode, and I wonder if my peers here did. And throughout the episode, I wanted to cheer. And I was looking for that moment. And I don't know if there were a few, but I wanted to cheer. And I think that's what I'm going to take away from this episode. And we'll get to the other stuff. Was it a good episode? Okay. Yeah. Luke. Tell me.
Yeah, I loved this episode. This was definitely my favorite one that we've had so far. Echoing a lot of what Lord Greg said, that the edge of your seat, like there was just this layer of tension and malice throughout the whole episode that really kept it going, because we had this proverbial axe above our collective heads of this trial of 7, and that was it just permeated the whole atmosphere and really like dragged us along. It was just the tension was palpable the whole way through. And the dialogue, yes, Greg, the dialogue, because this, I think, was the most faithful in terms of dialogue to the book. Like, I want to say the first 5 or 6 minutes from the start to the title card was verbatim the book, line for line, every single line. It was just, and it was like, yes, like, this is what I want people to do when they adapt books to shows. Like, how is their first step every time not just taking all the dialogue from the book, putting it on the page, and that's the start of your script? Like, why does everyone? It's the obvious. And no one does it. But this is honoring the source material in such a profound, real way, and the dialogue is so good, and it's all right from the book. I think this episode encapsulates very well the constant tension in Westeros, in all of Game of Thrones, between the ideals of chivalry and knighthood and honor and what it means to be good, and then the realities of what actually happens. And you play the Game of Thrones and you win or you die, and it's the Cerseis, not the Eddards, who often come out on top. And I think it just shows this really well with Duncan's whole, all Duncan did was, that's what he's saying. I just did my duty. I literally just fulfilled my knightly vows. That's all I did. But because I'm a hedge knight and I punched a prince, suddenly I'm in trouble. But where's the justice? Where's the honor in that? I laughed when Maekar says, what the fuck is a trial of 7? Which is so, it makes a lot of sense, because for context, I think the last trial of 7 was like over 150 years ago, when Maegor the Cruel fought with his 7 against Daemon the Devout to see who would be on the Iron Throne. That was a long time ago. And then I think finally the ending for me. The ending was incredible, because it's like he's got this Duncan's got this great speech about there's no true knights left, and everyone's just so dishonorable, and then who comes riding through the gate but Prince Baelor Breakspear, Hammer of the Red Grass Field, Prince of Dragonstone, to save the day, and the music swells. And it's the first time we hear the theme song since the first episode, and this time it's not cut off by a discharge of bodily fluids. The showrunners let us have our epic moment, and it is so. I was swaying in my seat. I was humming along to the music. I was so in it, even though I knew exactly what was going to happen. I was still completely swept away by all of it. So this was an amazing experience, start to finish. Yes,
Michael.
I echo what everybody said. I I have not read the book, so I did not know what was coming. So I was surprised. I said 7. I go, okay, that's the name of the episode. And I saw that and I go, oh, so I mean, I thought like Duncan did, he had to fight 7 knights. I mean, I kind of thought that at first too. And then when it was explained, I go, oh, and then then we find out if you don't have 7 knights, you forfeit. And I mean, he had 5, then he got 6. Then when, like Luke just went through when number 7 came through, and then he announced what side he was on. That was just incredible.
Yeah,
and then I was
Stefano,
going
right?
Yeah, and so, but I was noticing the time, and I thought I had 12 more minutes because this is a jab to HBO Max. On my streamer on Roku, it has still not posted episode 4. Still. And I just had up to 3 and it said new on 3. And so I watched it Friday on my main computer. I logged in and got it that way. No problems getting it there. But the only way I got it on Roku, because it still said today that it was not there. So if anyone's having troubles, this is what you have to do. You have to watch episode 3 again, fast forward to the very end when it says, want to watch next episode. But it is not on the menu. And I think that's a disservice to, and I want to say it just in case someone else had the same problem I just had. I thought this was coming out on Thursday, and I looked Thursday and Friday, and then Friday night I looked at it on I said, I've got to look at it because I don't know what's going to happen Sunday with the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So I know that's the only beef I had. It had nothing to do with the show. Wow. It had to do with the network, but that's my rant. So there we go.
I hear you. Well, Michael, thank you. Folks, I do not change my opinion. Last week's episode is the one where you bring the fans in because there's way too much in this to bring a rookie in. Oh, but absolutely. This is an episode that is for us. And in the after show, when they are talking to Sarah Adina Smith, she was talking about the dolly shot where she's moving it, and she is hearing in her mind, she's humming the music to Game of Thrones. And she did it very well. I was like, "Oh, I am tone deaf," but I was able to get it. And I'm tone deaf. But anyway, I heard it, and it was really well done. And the way she described it, folks, it's a treat. If you're not watching the extended portion of HBO, you needed to go in there just to get a professional fan's perspective. And it was really well done. How they were talking about how many scenes they did with Dunk and Egg. That, oh my goodness, Egg, what a performance. But I don't want to dominate this. I want to pass it on to you guys. This other than what all of you have said, okay, dude, if you're found guilty, they're going to take an arm. Otherwise, they're going to take a leg. You kicked him, didn't you? Like, yeah. Like, all right. And then he says, I ask you again, Sir Duncan the Tall, how good a knight are you? Truly. And Duncan gave him the answer by how he looked. And he still made his decision. I'm not going to say I teared up, ladies and gentlemen, but I was shocked when he made his entrance. But I'm jumping ahead.
I know.
Go ahead, guys. Let's do the round robin. Just go for it. I just wanted to point that out. But as Luke said, I am word for word, guys. I did the entire conversations as well. It was that good. And wow. I love what he tells him. Dry your eyes. Cut it out. The little twinkle in his eye, he was genuinely in tears. And then I remembered, guys, remember when he said, I want you as my squire? And remember I commented how he reacted like, you mean it? Yeah. Remember that? it came back to this moment. It really was huge for him because he said, "Hey, the other guy, he was a jerk. He was an a-hole."
Mhm.
What a connection! I had no idea it would come into play later, and it did. Okay, let's continue it. Come on, guys, jump in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'd like to point out that Egg looks really good in the Tigerian gear. Like, well done for the costume design. Like, they really looked good.
Oh, definitely.
Evan looked good and was noble and
Mhm.
he took it up a level.
Right. Well, I mean, he looked like a young prince. I was
Yeah.
amazed. I was like, wow. Huh. That's impressive. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
I'm impressed with this actor. He is
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, he's amazing. But I love how I think a moment that was caught was Makar. I hesitate to say disciplining his son when he should have, but he's. I don't think Makar has smiled. Makar has never smiled. But he grabs Arian and is like, "Come here, boy." And I love the fact that Baelor absolutely knows that it's like, yes, we're aware of what a piece of garbage Arian is. Unfortunately, he is part of the family. And even Makar kind of has that opinion where it's like, I don't really want to fight for my son, but he's my son. I have to fight for him. So I thought, like I said, everyone had their moments. Everyone had their moments. And I can't remember, what was the name of the younger Fossaway? I can't remember his first name.
Raymond.
Raymond. My God, what a performance when he's saying, "Knight me. Like, knight me right now. I'll fight for you." And Lionel, I don't know whether Lionel knew that Dunk maybe was a bit shifty, but he's like, let me take care of this. Like I said, everyone had their moment. And Lionel's like, is that Fossaway? I'm doing it because your squire asked me. But that was great. I would have loved to have seen that conversation, but leave it to the imagination. But overall, again, I hesitate to say, oh, and I think I remember, because I did watch the HBO after. I think the only episode that Stacey is not directing is this next one. Yes, I think she's directing the final episode, but she is not. But I think we have one director who's specifically going to do this next big episode, which makes sense. We're going to have a big battle. Let someone who knows how to do the battle scenes, let him go crazy.
And that's a lot of prep work when they do something like that. So,
That is a
yeah.
I've been involved in a few movies where there are big fight scenes, and I know stunt people. The director is like, I don't want to say they're the last people to know, but they're kind of like, they're definitely more of the they kind of say, okay, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, and they say, let us do our thing. We'll make it look amazing. We'll make it look amazing. So I think that's kind of what happened, but I can't wait for the next episode. It's gonna be so good.
We'll have to talk more about that next week when they do have
Yes.
a fight. Because I want to hear some of that process.
It's
and see if you can see how they might have technically done it in the next.
Well, because I
episode.
think correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I think that like all the major battle scenes of Game of Thrones, because I think Blackwater and Battle of the Bastards, and I think Hardhome, don't quote me on that. I think all three of those were directed by the same person.
Good.
Again, don't quote me on that, but I know that a lot of battle scenes were directed by the same person. And I think because it's like, hey, they know how to do battles, let them do their thing.
They got the battle person. Call the big
Hardhome
battle.
seriously.
Would have had to have. I know we're talking about the wrong guys, but I would think Hardhome would have had to have been composited because there was so much with between the giant and the undead and everything. And, any of those long shots would have had to have been composited. I don't think they would have been able to get that en masse.
No, but again, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. In fact, I might even look it up.
And Evan, I appreciate that. I caught some of that as I was trying to handle the business right now. I'm sorry, folks. Technical difficulties, and but it's all good.
Mhm.
You know, Evan, did you and Luke, and Lord Greg and everyone, did you guys catch that moment where Dunk went in to see it's Baylor, right? He went to go see him,
Yes.
and he immediately kneeled, and right away it was rise. It's just he
Yes.
barely didn't get up. You know, that was
Mhm.
more of an equal almost. I
Mhm.
caught that right away, and I was like, okay, you know what? Yes, there's more to. There's always more to it, but someone
Mhm.
answers to someone else, who answers to someone else, and answers to someone. It
Mhm.
was one of those situations. I actually saw that, and I
Nice.
appreciated that subtlety.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's obvious that Baylor respects Duncan as a knight.
Yes.
This is the second interaction with him, and it was half of a surprise at the end when he came to ride in the defense of Duncan, but at the same time, it's like this is somebody. I mean, he doesn't look like the rest of the Targaryens.
No.
He seems to be a bigger figure in at least Aegon's life than his own father.
Mhm.
And he seems to realize that those boys are messed up.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a common theme when you look at Targaryen history that oftentimes they will have there's a bunch of children. You know, there's always a bunch of children because that's what Targaryens do. They have a bunch of children, and there's always like one like really good one. There's always like one that's like rises above the rest. Is like this is the paragon of nobility, of chivalry, of what a king should be. He's for the people, and then there's a whole bunch of like mediocre to bad ones, and oftentimes. And as George likes to do, he likes to make things go the worst possible way. So often, if you take Targaryen history in a whole, it's a story of the great prince that almost was, but dies
Mhm.
in some way or some form. And it's
Right.
always the mediocre bad ones that end up sitting on the chair.
Mhm.
And thus is why Westeros history is so fraught with
Yeah.
tragedy.
Yep.
The queen who never was.
Queen who
right?
never. Well, sorry to jump back in, but you mentioned that he doesn't look very much like the Targaryens. Baelor reminds me a little bit of Jace, of Jacaerys Targaryen, where it's like, oh, this kid he's like, oh, he knows what he's doing. He's a good negotiator. Doesn't have to be a great warrior, but he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to play the diplomat. And it's like, huh, funny. The ones who look the least Targaryen are actually the pretty good rulers.
Maybe they got some of that inbreeding out of him.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Burn.
Yep.
Well, they don't make. It seems like even though this is like a medieval style culture,
Mhm.
it seems like they know that because of the inbreeding, all these people are bonkers.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's interesting because the the Church of Seven is hugely against incest, right? You know, and this is obviously a major point of conflict between the Targaryens and the religion of the Andals
Mhm.
from the very beginning. And you know, and oftentimes the Church outright rebels in the earlier reigns of rulers, and then eventually they come up with one of the septums comes up with the principle of exceptionalism. You know that the
Mhm.
Targaryens they're not mere mortals. They're they're part demigod. You know they're
Mhm.
Lord Dragon Lords. So they can have incest because they're a cut above the rest of us.
Right.
But it's never it's never fully accepted by the people for sure.
And hilariously enough, when Cersei, brainiac that she is, revives the Faith Militant in the original story, the one charge that she never ever says that she never admits guilt to is the incest vibe, because that would also make Tommen illegitimate.
Right.
So
right.
because they're so against incest, so it's like, uh-oh, you're caught in a bind, girl. But that's a good point. That's like they're very against incest, which is why Cersei gets in so much trouble with them. Because if she admits it's true, she is royally screwed.
Oh yeah.
Like even I know bad pun there, but even more than she already is, she'd be in way more trouble. So
Yep. One moment that it was a tiny thing. It sent a chill up my spine is when Duncan is at the stage trying to get a shield, and right before Pate the blacksmith comes up to say, if you're here for your shield, and then there's like this, you hear the audio flashback of Tansel's scream, and the finger breaks, and that sound transitions right into the chest opening, and so the sounds kind of merge together, and it was a really, really nice little just moment of editing. I was like, off-putting.
I really liked the scene with Pate and Dunk. I thought, it was, it was the, mutual respect for, what had happened to the girl, but like nobody's talking about it because she was probably, secreted away so worse wouldn't happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciated that scene.
The whole troop packed up and left.
Yeah, they booked it.
Yeah, well,
even the very beginning. Oh, sorry, Raj.
No, go. Great, go.
The very beginning, I really liked what they did with, like, it looked like the night sky, but then they brought the contrast back, and it was either the damp or the mica in the cell walls. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah,
and I liked that they had the rat, the poor wet rat that just wanted to get out of the rain, and Dunk's like, this is a nice guy. He talks to his horses,
Yeah, Greg, I really like the scene with Pate as well. Again, another example of them taking the dialogue right from the book, putting it on the screen, which is as it should be. And again, you get this sense of how the commons have really rallied behind him. They've really come to video because, like, how much do you want for this new, shield rim? He's like, from you, a copper. It's like, because like the people they recognize that this is a true knight. This is one who stands for them, for the small folk. It's cool that you see him earning that respect.
Luke, just right before that, in that conversation, and I'm going to repeat again, what a freaking buildup. The call to arms happened when he had to get the 7-9. It's a step. In my notes, and I'm getting his name wrong, the one that said Knight Me. I had him as Knight number 1. I did. Raymond number 1. And I knew he was going to stand by him. I finally guessed one right. But in the conversation that you mentioned, when they're talking about the shield, and they say, well, who painted it. And he's like, oh, no. He says, but she's gone. Well gone is well forgotten. But you looked at the shield, and it looked wild. He described it. This is double. It is stronger. It is your shield, but it has more to it. And that's where he said the girl did the paint. And he was just floored, and it looks beautiful. I think he was getting down. He says, no, the elm is green. It's alive.
Well, because he was saying the background was like death. Says it's death.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh no, because this is a tree and it's green and it's, it's the best of its time of year and this and that.
It was great. Not only did they respect and admire him, but there's a moment that they're, hey, dude, pay attention. It's not, this is who you are and how appropriate. It was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I appreciated when the other knights showed up because they're like, the guy's an a-hole. But what you did was what we knights are. And I love the one that was said, hey, my leg's broken, but if I can ride, I'm riding. I mean, that was almost Battlestar Galactica-esque when all the pilots are sick. Says, you can't even stand. Yeah, well, Colonel Ty, if I might remind you, we sit in the chair. But anyway.
Good reference.
The guy with the broken leg, he was the one whose horse got...
Yeah, I was.
Yes.
Yes.
So now we got the resolution. Now we found out. Yeah.
Yep. Sir Humphrey Harding. Yep.
Harding.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Luke. And then the one without the eye. Probably the one with the best vision, if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you were
the
a
call
sniper,
to
sure.
arms. Yes.
Yeah.
It was so well done. I felt it. It brought me along. And I'm like, dude, if I ever needed an episode like that, and I saw it today. If I ever needed an episode like this was the one. I was waiting, and it built up. What a delivery. What did he say? I wasn't about to miss. Oh, when is it Baileron?
You mean Baratheon? Lionel?
Baratheon. I can't believe.
Oh yeah,
I saw
Lionel
it.
Baratheon. Yeah.
Lionel. I wasn't about to miss the chance to pretty up the King's guards.
Yeah.
Guard Browns. Oh man, that was great. And then what Sir
Yeah.
Stefan did, what a jerk. What an a-hole. But you know what? That happens. And I got to tell you guys, I'm sorry. There was so much to this. I genuinely got mad when that big guy stood up and the flatulence and the way Egg reacted. I was, what an a-hole. And and had there been a guy with the crossbow behind me, I would have said, hey, Merry Christmas. But anyway, Hope, thank you, Hope.
Hey, Hope.
Hey, guys, it was a great episode. Just tuning in, so not sure how far into the episode dialogue you're in. Love the ending. Was a surprise for me. Wasn't expecting that. I wasn't either. Yes. It was so disrespectful. He's talking about honor and are there not one of you? And how appropriate. He says, is there not honor among the houses? They're full of dead air.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. Hope, if you want to join us online, I'll send you the link. Hope's been on with us in the past in other episodes. I know she's working on her home and stuff, but Hope, I'm going to send it to you right now and see if you can join us. Guys, continue. There was just so much in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, sorry.
I was glad that we actually got to meet Darren and had dialogue.
Yes. Yeah. I like that Darren didn't really want. He's like, I'm sorry, I have to join my brother's side. I don't want to, but it's my brother. I have to do it. So.
And I thought it was amusing that apparently in this family you still get punished for being screwing up, because he said he didn't want to get his feet whipped a second time for sneaking out with Aegon. So, and I even though he's a jerk, I kind of felt a little bad for him, because it's like now you kind of get that he has these horrible premonitions and he drinks himself to avoid them. He's become an alcoholic to avoid them.
Well, and I can imagine if anyone in the audience either has been through or knows someone who was an alcoholic, those withdrawal symptoms are not fun.
No.
The withdrawal symptoms of even going a day or two without drinking alcohol, I mean, you are not in a good mood at all.
Oh, I know. So, I've seen it.
Yeah. So it's like, ooh.
Well, he tells him. He says, I dreamed of you. And I love the way Dunk says, you said that. I heard you. I like that. He's actually like, because of you, little duck. And then he says, my dreams come true. They're not like yours. They do come true. And I saw you in victory or something. And then he said, well, do I survive? I can't tell. I can't.
Well, even he goes, I think he says, what, a dragon like lands on top of you. And it's like, what does that mean? It's like, hell if I know.
Luke
literally, he just is like, I don't know.
But
Well, that's
it's
the other
something
thing.
we can take seriously as an audience because
Mm.
there is precedent for Targaryens having prophetic dreams.
Yes.
This is something that happens throughout. It's a gift that randomly comes and goes throughout the Targaryen dynasty and different people. But so
Well, which I'd also like to bring up, and I love the way George R. R. Martin in all of it does prophecy, and that prophecy, it's never there is what is said, and then there's what you interpret it, and how people interpret it is so different depending on person to person. And prophecy, it always comes true. It just never comes true in the way that you think. And that's why, and it's all about interpretation. So it's like,
and Martin
okay,
does it well.
Martin does it
he's
very.
brought in the Wood Witches several times now.
Mhm.
We had one at the fair, who prophesied about Aegon.
Right, which we all know,
Fire.
unfortunately, to be true. Which we all know to be true.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy about it, but
No, it wasn't.
no.
Well, that also brings up to a funny point. It was omitted in the show, and I'm still a little miffed that they took it out. Cersei's prophecy in the book, there's an additional clause, if we want to call it that. It was and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this correct. I believe it was the Valancourt will stretch his hand out and strangle you. That wasn't put in the show. That was never in the show.
Right.
So, and Valancourt is High Valyrian for little brother. So
yeah.
we don't know. We kind of know how it happens in the show, and it doesn't really come true. But we're very curious how it's going to happen in the book. So, like we said, prophecy is never how the person interpreting it actually thinks it is.
Right.
So,
well, also, you can't really, it's not like you can tell Aegon, do not try to hatch your eggs. You're gonna burn the whole building down and yourself with it.
we're deviating a little bit, but I saw this. My friend sent me this meme about it was either a meme or a reference or something like that, and it was Anakin and Obi-Wan, but Dunk was Obi-Wan and Aegon and Egg was Anakin. Anakin as like you. It's like you were. It's like you should. He's like you were supposed to bring back the dragons, not destroy them all, or something like that. Like that. I thought that is so funny. But imagine if it turns out to be like that. That would be such a beautifully crafted story of these people, of these two guys who are the closest of friends, and inevitably, is it madness? Is it prophecy? Is it fear? I don't know. We don't know what possesses Egg to try to hatch the dragons again. So we'll see.
Speaking of Egg, when he shows up in the middle of the night, I'm your squire. I have to prepare you. I'm like, oh man, it's again the entire rise to the moment. Hope says there's always a dreamer in the bloodline. One is crazy or mad, and the other is a prophetic dreamer.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Daeron's the prophecy. Who's the psycho? Arian?
Yeah.
Definitely
I guess so.
On the other hand, I think next episode, I can't wait to see all these legends really go at it with each other because, like we said, I think with Baelor, I mean, did we ever share how Baelor got his nickname, Baelor Breakspear?
No.
I'm curious whether
No.
So Baelor broke 3 lances against Daemon Blackfire. So I think what we're getting is Baelor might be the greatest, at least right now, Baelor might be the greatest warrior alive.
Oh, yeah. He's certainly acknowledged as such, by the High Lords and then the Knights of the Realm. Whether or not that's actually true, who knows, but.
Hope says, I think he's human in dragon form. Reminds me of Dany's brother in Game of Thrones.
Rhaegar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm telling you, Hope, I'm begging you, please, Hope, join us. And she's been a big part of our network for the Game of Thrones programs for a little while now. And I understand, Hope, you got some stuff going on, but hope you are able to join us real soon.
You hope can join us.
Okay, I just pulled an Evan today. Although yours was a great setup. Thank you, Evans. That one was
Yeah,
great.
you're welcome.
Yes, I know. I miss it and miss you all. But thank you for being in the chat room. We appreciate your commentary.
Mhm.
And her daughter has joined us as well from time to time.
Oh, has she?
Who is also a Game of Thrones fan, which is really kind of cool.
That's wonderful.
We appreciate it. We already got our first love and from Hope. I'll take it. We got our first heart on Facebook. It's all good, folks. Come on, help us out.
Help us out here.
We appreciate the little smileys and all that on Facebook and YouTube and all that. So it's all good. Michael, come on, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just enjoy listening because it was just fun. I mean, it was just fun and unexpected all the way through for me. I don't know if I would get more out of it if I read the books or if it would detract because I knew what was coming. So it sounds like with Luke and Evan that they're getting even more out of it, but they do know what's coming. So
yeah,
but,
I think it always is a trade-off with when you know some, like when you read a book before you see the movie or the show. I think it is always that pro and con of pro. You know the Easter eggs, you know the history, the context. You can get the little tidbits of lore that another viewer can't. But the con is you do know it's coming, so you do get less surprised and less shocked by plot twists and things. So it's good with the bad, I think.
Allow me to interrupt. I apologize, Evan.
Okay.
Please hold that thought. Jaden, thank you, Jaden. Hello, Jaden. We do appreciate that. Oh, that is cool. Thanks, Hope. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Evan.
Well, what I like about, a very good example, in my opinion, is the Harry Potter series. And mind you, Harry Potter is kind of like Game of Thrones, where Harry Potter wasn't finished when the movies started coming out. So we still had a little bit to go. I think they were on. I think she was either about to release book 5 when Harry Potter first came out. But for us as readers, I was like, ooh, I wonder how they're going to do that. I wonder how it's going to look on screen. And especially like big action or movement scenes, like Quidditch or battles like that. That's hard to do in books. At least I say that's harder to do in books. But what that allows for in the movies is they can be expanded upon. You can throw a lot more in there. So, and I'm, like I said, I'm very curious as to see what's going to happen, not only with next episodes, but again with House of the Dragon, because a battle scene that is written as maybe a book, that's a whole episode for television. So again, I sometimes for the joy for people who have read the book in advance is like, ooh, I can't wait to see this brought to life. So maybe
how they do
that's my interpretation. Right? How do they do it? How's it going to look? Look, how do you keep the tension up? That'll be good.
Yeah, I'll after the series is over, I'm definitely going to listen to the first audiobook.
Yeah.
Excuse me, if not read it. I've got 2 books in progress right now.
Oh.
So I'm listening to one, reading another, and then actually we're reading a third to my grandson.
Ooh.
So.
Aw.
Yeah, as far as the books go, myself, I realize that if it's going to be in the theater, there's no point. I probably won't be, or on television, I won't have a chance to read it before. I'm just going to go and watch it. That's what I did with the Harry Potter books. As soon as the movie was out, then I read the book. And on a personal note, I don't know what the hell you guys were complaining about. You got the book on the movie, at least for the first one. Yes, I know there was a 4th challenge, and Draco led them to the 3rd floor, but that was about it. Anyway.
I was gonna say, I think the most book accurate movie, I believe, is number 2.
Yeah.
It's number 2. The only thing that they didn't include was the Death Day party, and that wasn't much.
Right.
That wasn't really much, but everything else was included. So, and speaking of HBO, that's why I'm curious about the Harry Potter TV series, because okay, now you got 8-10 episodes to do everything. Okay, let's see how that works out.
Let's
Yeah.
see how it works out. Now,
But are they
folks,
still gonna? They're gonna do half-hour episodes? And,
I don't know.
who knows? I
Yes.
want to ask you, gents, being that oftentimes we've read the source material and we've seen the stuff, you guys seem to be losing your minds right now because of this one scene that it was almost, right on.
Mhm.
As the whole on what we're watching, Luke, Evan, are you satisfied? And then I have a follow-up question for everyone.
I mean, so far I'm definitely satisfied, but it's the curse of American television. American television has a lot of trouble sticking the landings. So I so far great, but we've seen what happens when bad endings happen. So
Yeah.
I'm so far great. Reserving my judgment for the whole thing. That's my 2 bits. Luke, what do you think?
I am like 90% satisfied overall. Like, I think it's like 9 out of 10, like across the board. It's doing really, really well. My only complaint, which I've been harping on for a couple of shows now, is the lack of focus on the tournament, which, in the books, there's so much more pageantry, and the tournament is the central plot point of the whole thing. And I think there's so much more they could do with it, and it's wasted content. And but I think in the grand scheme of the show, I think that is a smaller point, because everything else is just so well done. And like I said, they are so goddamn book accurate, dialogue word for word. It's just, I'm loving that part of it.
That's awesome when they do that. There's so many other projects I wish would have done that.
I know. Yeah.
Now, my follow-up question is, I open up to Michael and Greg and to Evan and Luke, is oftentimes producers in Hollywood are like, well, wait a minute. You already have the book. What is the blankety blank point of doing it again on film? And that is the thing in Hollywood. They're like, you've already read the book, so forget the Lord of the Rings. But that's what we're up against in Hollywood. And I don't know if that's the full, everywhere in Hollywood, but I've heard that so often. It's like, why are we doing the book? You've already read it. Otherwise, what are we surprising you with? I don't know.
I haven't heard that argument before, but that makes me so mad because
Yes.
like I say this again every time I see a movie or a show that does not stay faithful to the book. I have the same complaint. It's like, I love I'll just use Lord of the Rings example. I love Lord of the Rings. And if I see a show about Lord of the Rings, I want to go see Lord of the Rings. I don't want to see a story that's vaguely based off the same concept but a different story. No, then just make a new story. Then do your own thing. If you're going to adapt a story that I like, then I want to see that story and nothing else. I'm not going to an adaptation to see some random other story that's vaguely based off the same thing. No, I want the advantage of seeing a movie from a book, even though you've already known the stories, you get to see the images on the screen. It's not in your head anymore. Now you actually get to see it all realized on the screen in a new medium, in a new format, in all its new Technicolor glory. So I poo-poo on that argument. Poo-poo.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well, and another great example, for example, look at Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. It's like, okay, yeah, we had the book, but no one had seen anything like that before. No one had seen color like that before. And that's really what that's what I look forward to, is like, oh, they're doing adaptation of the book. I can't, like you said, I can't wait to see it brought to life. Oh, hey! So this is my buddy James. So my buddy James is my buddy and I we do a podcast called Ranking Thrones, and we have rated the kings and one queen of Westeros, and we actually got to the point where we're doing the hands of the king. At this we had this huge, beautiful conversation of the big three. Viserys the first, or no, sorry, Viserys the second, Bloodraven, and Tywin, as to kind of who is the best.
Interesting.
Whoa.
The
Okay,
best.
all right. I'm gonna be a jerk right now, Evan. How long have you been doing this?
This one, oh God, like at least a couple years.
And
But we take
every
long
time
breaks.
I ask you for an announcement on projects, you neglect to mention this.
It's-
Dude,
I
we give the
apologize.
love.
And It's been so long. I do apologize. I'm sorry, everyone. It's
No, you know
been
what?
such a long time.
It's all good. If we could have the link
It's
to
all
that
fine.
program, hey,
Yes,
we're all
we'd
the same
love to
team,
get.
guys. We
Yeah,
we
I'll send you
don't
guys. I'll
compete with
definitely.
anyone. You know why?
No.
Because they're certainly
Why?
not competing with us. So
Well, which by the way is that's another. Why would you want to see the book? Bring the fandoms together. Bring all the fans together. They can start. That's the other thing. Cosplay. Who doesn't want to see these costumes brought to life? Who doesn't want to see these characters brought to life? It's like, oh, I wonder how they're going to be, or I wonder how this actor is gonna interpret this character. Because sometimes, occasionally, the interpretations can be more iconic than the story, and sometimes can be more interesting. So that's my thing. That's my thing.
Yeah, like
So
Hunger Games.
yes,
I mean that's a great example of how you can take costuming and like
Mhm.
really realize, how characters like Effie actually present themselves, and even though if you've read it, you have your own idea, and then if it's different but better, great.
Yeah.
If it's spot on, wow. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go a completely
Maybe.
different direction. Like, when Daenerys goes to Karth,
Goes to Karth. They have the.
the way it's described in the book is a lot racier than what ends up on television.
Yes.
I think that's actually really funny. When it's such a common thing you hear about the original Game of Thrones. There's so much nudity and sex on. I'm like, it's so gratuitous. I'm like, guys, for every one sex scene in the show, they cut out 3 in the book. There is so much nudity and sex in the books. Like, they are not just making this up. This is just an intricate part of the thing.
Well, and to put it in perspective. To put it in perspective, the scene where Catelyn and Ned are talking about the letter, they had just gotten busy, and Catelyn is completely bare in that. She actually walks over to the fire in front of Maester Luwin, completely exposed, and just throws it in the fire. Stuff like that. So it's like, oh, that's. Although the one thing I do wish that the show had done, and whether they had to do this due to budget or whatever, was that the armor in Game of Thrones is really elaborate. It's a lot more like the tournament armor. And again, I want Hollywood to get it right, where it's like, no, tournament armor was very colorful. It was very big. It was meant to show off. And it's like it wasn't these dull gray, brown earth tones. There was yellow, it was red, it was blue, it was shiny. It was it was the equivalent of like a fashion show.
Well, I think Lionel's got it.
Lionel has it, but like I want more of that. I'm with you, Luke, where it's like I want more of that. I want them to be like a little more over the top, because again, that's you can kind of have fun with that.
And I suspect the Targaryens, in their styling. I mean, the black and blood red.
Well,
I mean that's definitely carried in the armor. And
there's a sorry to interrupt. There's a beautiful image because they actually made graphic novel versions of the Hedge Knight as well.
Oh,
Aerion Brightflame literally dresses himself up to look like his horse is on fire. Like he has all the streaks of red, orange, and gold. The plume on his head is really large. It's this super elaborate and very, very like it's almost. I think you said it beautifully. It's like it's meant to make them look kind of otherworldly. It's meant to make them look kind of like demons or dragons, or literally like dragons as well.
Then I guess his was subdued, because I was actually going to comment that it looked kind of neat. That it looked like a smoldering cauldron was on his head. It looked like coals, but the top of it was like painted reddish orange. That would have been cool to see, actually.
Exactly.
So now I'm kind of disappointed.
But yeah, that's a fascinating thing. But Luke, what do you think about the it's like, oh, we wish to do more of the tournament. He's back.
Yeah, I mean, you're muted, Roger.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
There you go.
No worries.
Glad you're back.
Yay.
We know you got stuff going on.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, do we have anything else to say about this episode? This was a short episode, but it was a short but efficient episode.
Well, I think Michael, were you about to say something just now?
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to talk about, I mean, the costuming. We got to put kudos out to the costume designers and of this show. I mean, especially Eggs when he came on as the Targaryen. I mean, that was just absolutely fabulous looking, which we've talked about. I mean, we have had costume designers and wardrobe people on all of our shows, and when you hear the intricate details of some of what these costume people go through doing research, test fittings, and just all of that stuff, it is just overwhelming what some of them do.
Yeah, no, definitely agree.
Absolutely.
And more power to them. You know, I mean, if they didn't do it, you know, we'd go, well, they don't look at me. So, but if they weren't there, boy, we'd notice it. So,
Oh yeah.
Well,
I was
another
admiring Raymond's padded armor.
yeah.
When they had the close up of the back of him when he was about to be knighted, it's like, you know, I was actually admiring the quilting. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
It didn't look modern. You know, it looked, you know, they did it in a way to, you know, you could see the class difference between like Dunk and Raymond and then the Targaryens, because they wouldn't have been able to afford, you know, the nice, you know, tailored stuff from the city. So, I mean, yeah, definitely the costuming across the board is done so well.
It's amazing.
You know,
And I like
even though the Beast of Bracken was an idiot, loved his costume.
Oh yeah. Well, another thing I love is also, if you look closely, it's like the evolution of the. Oh, someone pointed this out. Finally, we finally got an all-white Kingsguard armor. We finally got all-white Kingsguard armor, which we hadn't had before.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in Game of Thrones. We hadn't even had that in House of the Dragons. So that's pretty funny to me. But pure white.
Yep.
Yeah, because the in Game of Thrones it was like had gold trim all over it.
Which did look nice, but not
well, do you think
look at.
we kind of wrapped it up now? We can give our thumbs up or thumbs down. I think I know everybody's answer.
No,
Yes.
no, it's not thumbs up, thumbs down.
I know. That's why I did that. Seeing if you were awake, Roger.
If I'm awake.
Yes, right now. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever.
Okay, so how many pints is it for everyone today?
10.
I'm giving it a 9 because I wanted to at least, you know, see one, you know, battleground interaction, not just Dunk taking a knife to Darren, but I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah, I'm with you, Greg. I mean, I was debating between 9 and 10, but I think I want to hold out a 10 for, you know, maybe one of the two next episodes. So I'm going to say 9.
Luke?
This is an easy 10 for me. I would even be so bold, if this is even allowed, to go 11 out of 10 because
Really?
I was that taken, that swept away.
Wow.
Okay. 10, now 11.
Yes. Like I said, we'll see about next episode. Next episode is the real make or break it episode.
I will have to do the grade point average math later.
Yes.
The average. I am hard pressed. This is definitely a 9. It could be a 10. I think it could. I want to hold out. I'm expecting it to get better. Just because I don't know any better, I'm gonna end up giving it a 9. But this gave reason to cheer. This gave reason to get invested. This gave reason to enjoy and be caught up. I did not look. Oh, I always ask this question. Were you? I think someone said they were watching the time, but again, I was not. I was. I think I knew when it was going to end, so I looked at the clock on the runtime. That was about it. I did not look at it otherwise. Luke, were you watching the clock?
Oh, I was only watching the clock because I was rushing to watch it, get my notes done, and run out and do some errands before the thing. That was the only reason. If I wasn't pressed for time anyways, I would not have been watching the clock.
You would not have been.
Mhm.
Greg?
No,
Did
I
you-
wasn't watching the clock at all.
Yeah.
Not on the. I mean, on the second watch, I knew how short it was, so I knew I'd be able to get the second watch before coming up for this. But yeah, no, it's like it was like, oh my god, that was a half hour already.
Yeah. You know, guys, and this to the audience, what I mean by watching the clock is there comes that eventual moment when you're watching something and it just dawns on you to take a look. Either because it's like, oh, for the love of the seven gods, how long is this going to go? Or something like that. I did not look at the clock until maybe the last minute. That was it. So, because I okay, it feels like we're going to end. I don't know why. We're not going to see a climactic battle. It's going to end right here. And I did get that one right. Evan, are you watching it?
I only watched it when he was doing his speech right about there, because I looked down, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm with you, Lord Greg, where I kind of had the notion of like, okay, maybe we're gonna get that first charge, maybe that first clash, but maybe nothing more. But then I was like, they're cutting it a little too close. They're cutting it just a little too close. So I was that's the only reason I looked at the clock. I was looking down to see, it's like, are they gonna do it? I don't think so, but maybe they'll do it.
Yeah, even if they didn't do it, it actually would have been funny if like they were all starting to ride out.
Yeah.
And Darren just falls off the horse.
I was thinking though, Greg, when you mentioned that they could have done the first clash, because what they could have done is because at all, each seven, line up in a row, and they all ride at each other, and they could have had it like riding, and right as they hit, the screen blacks, so you don't actually see like they actually crash together.
Yeah,
black, like,
yeah.
right there. And then that would have been that would have been cool,
But they didn't ask us.
I know.
And how upset would you be if that's the final scene of episode 5?
Oh
my god! If they can't drag it out anymore,
No,
can they?
no.
Greg, be careful, Greg. Be careful. Don't say that.
Yeah,
They
that's
can't
like,
drag it
Oh wait,
don't-
no! Everybody's got to get off their horse, go to the bathroom in the field.
Yes. And they have to
Well,
show all that, so that takes time.
While I asked Michael about the time, I wonder if everyone saw the preview for next week. I did.
Yes.
Michael, were you watching the clock?
I was the first time because I said I was on my main computer
You
and
did.
things
yes.
kept popping up that I had to deal with. So every time I stopped it, the time would pop up. So,
Okay.
but the second time I went through, well, I knew how long it was going to be anyway, and I didn't even look at the clock. I was just going, oh, it's already over again fast.
Yeah, my after dinner TV is sacred. Usually, I leave my phone up on my desk and don't even. It's like by the time I'm done with work, it's like I just want to veg and eat my dinner.
Nice.
There was another line, and I'm sorry if you guys already said it. I apologize. But when he tells him, I had to say something when 8 got away from me, Dunk says,
Ruth?
well, maybe I should beat you up. They can't kill me twice.
Yes.
I thought that was really funny. It was good. Other than when he was asked if he was a good knight or not. That was just so well done. I'm sorry.
No, that
now,
was a good one.
the app that I use when Luke was on with us allows you to rate your choice for who was the best one of the episode. I want to add that. Who was the best one for you guys today in this episode? And then, as far as I'm concerned, I'm sorry. I will no longer make you guys suffer. And I'll show you what TV Time listed as the one as well. My choice for the guy was Baelor Targaryen. That character. Okay. Evan,
Me too.
same thing?
Me too.
Okay,
Hands
remember
down. This was the closest thing to Baelor's episode.
Duncan Egg, Lionel Baratheon, Raymond, Arion, Tanzel, Arlen. Arlen had a great scene when he's doing the talk, and he's like, well, and I'm like, wow, man, that was messed up. That was we have Makar, Steely, Plumber. Who was it for you? Greg and Luke. Just curious.
I'm gonna say Raymond.
Oh, okay. Like
Okay.
that, Luke.
Yeah, for me, it's a toss-up between Duncan and Baylor, but I think I got to go with Breakspear.
I'm going to show you guys the percentages right after. Michael, what do you
Yeah.
think did it for you?
The
And
first-
it's just
the
a
first-
feeling thing, guys.
Well,
It's
well,
not
I know.
who's
I mean,
correct.
it's a tough one. I mean, I just think it seemed for me the amount of growth of the character. It was Egg.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Okay, this is the way it was on TV time. Baylor, 78% of the audience. Duncan, 19%. Egg,
Okay.
2%. Lionel got 1%, and no one else got so far.
Yeah.
So far. So it's
Well,
kinda
I gotta
cool.
go
It's
vote for
interesting.
Raymond then. I was torn between
Yeah.
Raymond and Baylor because I mean I think Raymond standing up to Stefan I thought was big,
Yes.
and and then stepping up.
To be knighted and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Too bad it's
That
not
was
a Hall of
great.
Fame vote where you get, 10 votes. It's just one. And I just thought that was kind of cool that it was Baylor scored a 78 off the audience.
Mhm.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean,
That
it
doesn't.
was-
Yeah, that
he
doesn't
was
surprise me one
strong.
bit.
Yeah. Hope, what was the score? We might have lost hope for a moment, but anyway. Folks, I guess if that's it, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to work TV time in. Just they got a cool little theme in there at the end of each episode. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trekking Across the Universe. We're reviewing Game of Thrones, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And sadly, 2 episodes left.
I know.
So if HBO holds to what they've done on Game of Thrones, it's the second to last episode that has a climactic thing. You guys remember that?
we know what's happening. Yep, we know what's going on.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, when I finish what I'm reading, I'm starting in on the novellas. So,
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
still mad we don't have Winds of Winter yet.
I know.
By the way, I do want to give a shout out to Dan Romer for the music in this episode. Obviously, it didn't
Yes.
hurt hearing that again. So,
Oh,
way to go, Dan Romer.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the music in this episode. HBO, thank you. Mr. Martin, thank you as well.
Mhm.
And for everyone else, we're going to start giving credit the next 2 episodes on as I do. So if you guys want to, if you see something in the credits, which you think, let me know. Give them their and bring them on the episode. They deserve love too, man.
Mhm.
It's not just the main guys. Okay, Michael, any announcements?
no, not on air. No.
Oh, Greg,
Nope, nothing exciting.
Luke.
I will make an announcement for the fact that James and we will be doing our Ranking Thrones when this series is over. I think we're going to do like one kind of retrospective of the entire series. We consider doing one per episode, but then the episodes were a little too short for that. So we said, nope, let's just see the whole thing. Let's do the whole thing
Sounds good.
together.
Fair enough. And
Together,
as far
we'll
as
see what we
Wu Tang, thanks for sharing the opinion. It is what it is. All right. And it's all good. Everyone else, thanks for joining us. This is NDB Media Trekking Across the Universe. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!
Take care.